Oversight project discovered that almost every single signature of Joe Biden's during his presidency was signed using an AutoPen, meaning that all of the documents that he signed were being used by a computer saved signature and not done by hand. They found that almost every signature was AutoPen, except for one of the most famous ones on the letter, where he was announcing he was dropping out for running for president last election. As you can see here, AutoPen, and then here it is on the letter of him dropping out of the race. Clearly a different signature. And you can see also it is underlined. Now, AutoPen is not new. It's legally been around for the president since 2005, since President Bush's presidency, but it's typically used while presidents are on vacation, like Barack Obama in 2013. The 60-plus days that President Trump has been president, we've watched him by hand sign a whole lot of executive orders and documents. So now people are bringing up the 7 pardons that were signed on January 19th, President Joe Biden's last day in office, saying that they were all AutoPen. Other people are more concerned with that signature, with the underline that was used when he dropped out of the race, wanting to bring in question different clemency orders and pardons that were signed using that same underlying signature, quite different from the AutoPen. Now, could President Joe Biden have had 2 totally different signatures? Absolutely. But with his cognitive decline, there are a lot of questions that are coming up. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
So, Slim, you sent me the topic. What do you think about this? Can you elaborate on it more?
I mean, to me, it's just, it just proves a lot of shenanigans was going on during this guy's term. He never really made no decisions. He was being controlled by a whole nother scenario. It just proves all that. You know what I mean? That dude was just the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to this country. And he made us look bad. And now he's still cleaning up his BS. And it's basically trying to make Donald look bad because he's trying to clean it up. At the same time, he told us everything he was going to do, and he's doing it outside of the Epstein files. So this is the thing that's throwing me off with that. When everybody was saying Epstein, 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 the left was conspiracy, conspiracy, conspiracy. They don't want to hear about it. But now that he ain't releasing them, the left want to know all about it now. It's hard body like hotcakes right now. So, yeah, I'm disappointed he didn't release the files. Do I think he's on the files? Absolutely fucking not. Do I think somebody in his administration could be compromised? Absolutely. Now, what we should be asking is, why Barack ain't released the motherfucking files? Why Joe ain't released the files? Why Kamala didn't release the file? You see, now we on him because he said he was going to release the files. So it doesn't matter what he does. They're going to always figure out a way to throw the smoke. Always. But if I send you positive stuff on Mr. Trump all the time. Helping out a black woman. I literally just sent you that. You ain't never seen that clip. I guarantee you. Never. Know why? Because I haven't never seen it.
I feel you. Heaven, is this one of your people, Twin there? She said, Heaven, talk your ish. So I'll let you respond.
Trump was Epstein's best friend for years, and that was well noted prior to him even thinking of running for the presidency. So to assume that he did not know is just absurd. To assume that he wasn't on the list, the plane, is absurd, in my personal opinion. However, from what I recall, I'm pretty sure the Obamas went on that plane as well. And many, many, many diplomats and princes and global leaders. It is not just 1 or 2 people that they have to protect. There's a whole lot.
I got a question.
The AutoPen thing, I absolutely think that Joe Biden was not making the decisions at the end of his presidency, or probably around like that last year at least in my personal opinion. It doesn't excuse anything on either side. I think that there's other things besides the Epstein list, because, like we were talking earlier, I can't vote anymore. That's supposed to be my right. I'm a veteran. I served active duty Army for 15 years. I'm 100% disabled because of it. And my benefits are getting cut from the VA in this big, beautiful bill. And my child's medical coverage is also getting cut from the big, beautiful bill, which they swore wouldn't get cut. She was born with disabilities because 3 months early, but that was thanks to the military. So, Epstein's list is he's on the list. They were best friends.
I got a question for you.
There's actually a whole entire case.
I got a question for you though.
That he's charged in.
I got a question for you.
For assaulting raping a 13-year-old girl.
Okay, and if this is what you may know or what you may believe, let me ask you a question, right?
It's not. I don't feel one way or the other. I'm not Democrat. I'm not left. I'm not right.
That's why I want to ask you a question, because it's a logical question, right?
Truth is the only truth. I mean, that's right. The only.
So let me ask you this: Giselle Maxwell.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't she currently in prison? Currently?
Yes, for trafficking girls from Epstein's Island.
Right. So
yes,
this woman would be able to vouch for everything that you just mentioned regarding our current president. This woman is currently spending the rest of her life in prison. Shouldn't this woman say, yo, hold up, that dude that just won? Let me holler at y'all real quick.
Rest in peace, Jeffrey Epstein. Because what? Yeah, they off Jeffrey Epstein while he's in prison, and that's going to be like, oh, let me just be real loud about it. No, really? No, not if I value my life.
That woman would have said something by now, and it wouldn't matter.
No, she would not. Not if she values her life, she wouldn't. Again, it's not just Trump. It's way bigger than just Trump. World leaders, princes and sultans and royal family.
So basically, you believe we're fucked all the way around?
I believe that politically, yes, we are absolutely fucked all the way around. Yes, absolutely.
I can respect that.
Because, I mean, here's the thing. I see all these natural disasters, and I know because of my training that we could move people out of those zones before they get hit and save lives. But we don't. Do we care about our people? No, we don't.
Nora said, my bad.
Michigan, do they have clean water yet? Like, come on. But we're sending billions to Israel because we got to bomb babies. What the? I'm for Americans and America, and that's not what's actually happening in our politics. And it's a lot of red tape and da-da-da-da. Like, yo, cut the bull. The people aren't getting taken care of, and that's what's making me. That's my thing.
Nora said it would be because Giselle Maxwell will be unalive, Slim. But Doc, what's your thoughts on the AutoPen? And it seems like the Epstein files are a big thing. So what's your thoughts on that as well?
It's not illegal. It's not illegal to AutoPen. So I guess from that sentiment, you know what I'm saying, we can't really hold it against them. But I think it's bad form, because then we got, if it's being AutoPen, who's reading the documents, who's really approving these executive orders is something that could be called into question. If everybody's saying his mental faculties were deteriorating, who's reading and signing these things. But I mean, they said just because Trump signed the papers, he could sign some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like I can't. They could. Both things could be true. Somebody could be printing your signature on something you didn't read, and Trump could be signing some bullshit. You know what I'm
That
saying?
he don't know how to read.
Both things could be true, and I think with the Epstein files, I think it's absolutely an Epstein file. I think it happened. It went on. She's serving 20 years, and I think it's a cover up, and it's some information that you just won't get. But I also think the problem is people act like this is a new thing with Trump. The government has been covering up things. They don't give you information, and people are giving him a hard time because he doesn't want to give them this information. This is what every administration. You don't get all the information, and that's just the life. That's just the way this world. You're never going to get all the information unless somebody steals it and runs to Russia and seeks asylum, and then they'll release it on WikiLeaks, and somehow we'll get lucky like that. But that's just the reality of it. It's probably some big names on there, a lot of information that they just don't want to get out, and whether or not I like it or don't like it, that's just the real. That's just how it goes. That's the game.
Yo, that's my whole point about the whole thing. Is like all this stuff that's going on about these files, right? Like that woman was incarcerated prior to Trump's.
You got to understand though before
hold on a second.
You got to understand before though, and how everything's connected
in the election. So at the end of the day, that would have been the best thing to get rid of him by having her testify against him. The whole time they even tried to kill the man. The whole time they've been trying to get rid of him. Wouldn't that be the perfect bombshell to get rid of him?
You talking about that sniper on the roof that clipped?
No, I'm just talking about I'm talking about Giselle Maxwell being incarcerated before.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about Giselle Maxwell was incarcerated before Donald Trump got elected term 2, right? So the whole time
she was actually incarcerated during his first term.
Right, but the whole time
during his first term.
Right.
Jeffrey Epstein was killed during his
since
first
the woman's been incarcerated, the left have been trying to get rid of Donald Trump, take him to jail, you name it, tried to kill him.
I mean,
wouldn't that be the perfect storm? To have her say what she needs to say. He's the one.
I think the problem with that is Trump is a big figure and a big voice.
But
so if you call Trump to the carpet, then what about all the other people that they say are on this list? Do you really want to piss off all of these other people and have this type of issue going on? And trying to kill Trump is a stretch. He didn't even get shot. He had a paper cut.
Right.
All right. So the other dude just lost his life.
Hey, I got my ears pierced and it left a hole.
But there's a man who died though during that day. There's bullets that hit another American citizen. That don't count.
Which is amusing to me.
Well, let me say,
amusing's not the word. How many people got shot that day?
One dude got killed. Well, the assassinator
on the roof.
And then there's another dude. Yeah.
He could have hit nobody.
How many shot? Right. Thank you.
They shoot it after the club. They try to
clear line of sight. And he didn't. And he grazed his ear. Did you hear how many shots got off?
Are you guys upset that he missed? Is that what it is?
Hold on, Slim.
No, I am. What I'm saying is that
I know. Think about it.
I could have made that shot easy. That's an easy shot.
Well, Slim,
it's an easy shot. That's fine. I'm just saying.
What you're not thinking about is everybody has the right to also plead the fifth, and that's why people are getting upset with Joe Biden's wife, Jill Biden, because her chief of staff pleaded the fifth on whether Joe Biden was competent during his presidency or not.
That we've brought in via subpoena for a deposition that has pled the fifth, and they've stated they're not going to answer questions. I want to read the first 2 questions. Just so everyone knows, these are the types of questions we ask. Was Joe Biden fit to exercise the duties of the president? He pled the fifth. Second question, did any unelected official or family member execute the duties of the presidency? Now, this is Joe Biden's chief of staff.
So the chief of staff basically said that Joe Biden's he played the fifth because he didn't want to say anything. So Doc, do you feel like pleading the fifth shows guilt that happened, or they just exercising their right to plead the fifth?
I think you just exercise your right. Sometimes you can say things that toe the line of getting yourself in trouble, or the steps they go through to make an administration work. I don't think sometimes these people in these cabinets agree with these people. So when they say somebody pled the fifth or Joe wasn't competent, Trump's whole last cabinet talked bad about him. Every single person who worked for him talked bad about him. He fired half of them. I don't think when those people sometimes can't steer the president in the direction they want, I think sometimes those people feel entitled and upset, and sometimes just like with Trump, they get disgruntled, and it's better for them to plead the fifth than to go in there and make salacious statements.
So Slim, you keep saying because Giselle Maxwell didn't come out, do you feel like she could maybe just be keeping her mouth closed? Because I don't think she testified before in her own case, and most people don't testify in their case. So you don't feel like do you feel like if someone pleads the fifth that they're immediately guilty?
We don't know if she testified, because keep in mind, this was the only case outside of the Diddy trial, but we still get reports on the Diddy trial, right? So, but this was the only case in the last few years that wasn't televised. You couldn't have no reporters in the room. We don't know. We really don't know. We don't know what happened in that courtroom. See, and that's a problem with me, because we looking at Johnny Depp's trial. Who the hell care about that? That was lit for a minute. I was like, yo, the trial is going on. I didn't even know what was going on with the Maxwell trial. That's the time I wanted to know what was up with the file. So trust me, it was information that was distributed that the public doesn't know about back then. We're just hearing about it now. We basically way behind. We just don't see it that way.
Heaven?
I think that it is a government's obligation to be transparent with the people and to be honest with the people. And I think that if you're going to plead the fifth, then you're only invoking that right for a reason, or else you have no reason to invoke the right. In and of itself makes that argument void. Does that make sense? In legalese, you're not going to invoke the right without having a reason to invoke the right. Like, you're not going to walk up to a cop and be like, I'm not going to speak to you. It's my Miranda right.
I'm going to always do that.
No, you're going to walk up to the cop, though?
But I think the thing
and invoke the right? No, like, if the cop comes up to you, that's different. But you're not going to walk up to the cop and say, hey, I'm going to.
But it can't be held against you. Pleading the fifth can't be held against you. It's just, they're calling them in. They're calling them in there to ask questions, not just self-incrimination. It might just be information I don't want to put out there, and I don't have to.
I want to add to that plead the fifth.
But again, that goes back to, if you are in a government position, you are held to a higher standard, or should be held to a higher standard. If you are, especially on a global scale, as president, I know I can reference, Hillary, Trump back then, still, and this year too, same, just no, all the way around. But you have an obligation to the people to be transparent, to be honest, to be fair, to be balanced, to try to bring people together and not sow discord and hate and fear and instability. That's not the duty of a president. That's not the job of the president as a figurehead, because that's all he's supposed to be, is a figurehead. to be the face of the people, while Congress is supposed to be our voice, our voice.
You talking about Trump?
I'm talking about both.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about both.
Well, I want to add to that plead the fifth.
So I'm calling out both sides because Biden was, in my personal opinion, clearly in cognitive decline, and Trump is.
I believe
cognitive decline. In my personal opinion, there's a lot of times he trails off, and his speeches. We're not going to talk about your president.
I was going to talk about the plead the fifth scenario, right? The plead the fifth to me is null and void because I think that's the smartest thing Joe might have done is plead the fifth to those accusations because the world could see what was cracking with that dude. Like the people can see he wasn't fit during the end of his term to continue. It wasn't no secret. So for him pleading the fifth is probably muy bien. Because right now, you know, it's all showing, you know, everything that the people were saying before, and they lied. His administration lied to the people by stating he was competent. He was able to do things normally. That was all a lie. We see it now.
Well,
why would you think pleading the fifth matters, Slim? Because you would support a guy even if he was convicted and became a felon. So I think even if he was convicted and we found this out, people on certain sides support you no matter what. So I think that takes away your argument for pleading the fifth because some people are going to support you even if you felon and you can't vote. They'll vote for you.
You talk about Trump?
I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Well, no, you're saying I'm supporting the guy that's a felon. Is that you talk about Trump?
I'm saying people.
I mean, Trump. That's the fact that Trump is. But that sounds like what he's saying.
What was the charge?
What I'm saying is the people who going to support are going to support.
We don't going through all 34.
Okay. No, we do. We can.
But this is what I want to talk.
That's ridiculous.
Obviously, 80 million people felt the same.
This is what I want to talk about because basically,
and we're not going to talk about the fact that he admitted that before he even took the oath, he said on stage that he cheated.
Huh?
Hold on.
Yeah. I watched it.
You got to find that one.
The night before.
You need the receipt for that one, mama.
Go on my IG page. Go on my IG page. After that, I wiped my IG page from all my. Like I used to have mad pictures on there.
My bro I cheated. I need that.
All right, hold on. So basically, what we was talking about with Joe Biden.
Because he said he rigged it in that night before. Now me and my oath to the Constitution and the people of the United States of America says, hold on, wait a minute. If he just said he rigged it, why the hell is he even taking this oath?
You talk to a dude that watched every Trump rally, even when he wasn't the president. I need to see this.
Wait, I'll find it, but I want to play this. So basically, with everything we talk about with Joe Biden, and I feel like a big reason Joe Biden is saying anything, or people to say anything, because we don't feel like we can talk about mental health. So I feel like this case that just went viral is big with this.